system for my rat rod Porsche. I'm going to build it from scratch out of some used stuff, some new exhaust, and a used turbo. I'm going to be doing a draw-through system, which is kind of different from what some people see. They're real common on like a Porsche or a Volkswagen engine. I'm going to be building this one from scratch. This build took like 4 months because of all the coronavirus crap. I had to wait for certain parts for 2 to 3 months, and luckily I got all that put together. So now in this video you're going to see how it started, how I built it, how I did all the exhaust work, all the way to luckily getting it started finally. So let's get going. It's going to be a very long, this will not be one video. I absolutely promise you that. This is going to be several videos. I originally thought my turbo was going to kind of be over towards the passenger side. The more that I'm looking at stuff, I think it'll probably most likely be over here more towards the driver's side. I'll go ahead and pop these off first. Sand it down and get to spraying. Intake in pipe done, and now I'm going to finish off my exhaust out pipe. Halfway there, got our in pipe done, we got our out pipe done, we got 2 more sets of pipes to go. I think I'm going to end up tying in some sort of a brace, but I'm going to figure that out after I get these exhausts cut. Oh, that helps a lot. Now I gotta mess with this one. I think I gotta take this one and make it a 92. If it's a 90, then I can mount my carb right here. Actually, I take that back. I think I'm gonna make this mount here that goes across. Finally have all the parts in for the turbo build. It's time to start actually getting it mounted in the car and whatnot. The thing I'm running into, well, I'm running into about 10 different things, but one of the main things I'm running into is how heavy it is. And normally turbos are held up by your exhaust system, especially on a bigger car. This car doesn't really have the biggest exhaust in the world, so I think I'm gonna add a brace to this. I might even add 2 braces to it while it's here. Time to start making our exhaust and also the carburetor intake, the carburetor mount and the intake. I need a bunch of funky bends. This is actually the original exhaust out of it. I have another brand new one I've been running. It's probably gonna get cut up too, but I just kept this around just in case I was gonna turbo this car because it has so many weird, funky, like 90 degrees. That's a 180, which is rare as shit. You never see those bends. So I'm gonna cut this all to hell and probably start piecing together some of these little chunks and making them work.
One eternity.
Every one of those slivers, you know, is like another degree of bend. So this was actually straight originally. So anytime I need more bend, less bend, whatever, I gotta make a cut, bend it, move it. It's a real pain in the ass, but it's the only way to get it to make all these funky shapes. Spend an hour welding that up and blending it and blah blah blah. I got it tacked where it's going to be. I want to make sure everything has plenty of clearance. I bought this brand new. This is a brand new exhaust. It actually worked great on the motor, but I don't need it now. And the reason I bought it new, every fucking time, I swear to God, I swear that heater hadn't run for 10 minutes. Turn the camera on, kicks on. So, I bought this exhaust because even though I knew I was gonna turbocharge the motor, I wanted to make sure everything was running and driving good before I dug into it. The last thing I wanted to do was start building a turbo on a motor I hadn't heard run. So, these are like $100. I figured, what the hell, $100. We'll put a new exhaust on it, drive it around for a month or so I know everything's working, and then I can cut this up and use these tubings for my turbo. So that's what we're doing. Here is the old original one. I'm gonna end up using, I think these front two are gonna be 2 of my swoops. But I want to use all these to bolt to the motor because I know everything is, not only is it nice and not rusty, but I know all this is true and it bolts up normal. Paying attention, I'm just going to use that. That's the 90 I need. So I'll cut this, use this collector, section this out, and then there's my 90 straight into my pipe. Perfect. I just can't go very high. I thought originally I could kind of get it up here more, but it's just hitting everywhere. So I almost have to come down here. It's kind of an old school trick, eh?
I hate setting up exhaust because I can't ever get it exactly how I want it. Or I keep changing my mind rather how I want it. There's the muffler. I got the exhaust all done except for one thing. I have to put the O2 sensor in. It has a little bung. You gotta drill a hole for and weld it in. All I gotta do is drill this, weld it, and then the exhaust is completely done in and out of the turbo, and then I can start focusing on the carburetor side, which should be a little bit more simple because there's just so many pipes coming out of the exhaust, it's outrageous. You got 4 coming out of the motor, you got 4 going into the turbo, it's a pain in the ass. But this should be done now, and I can start doing the easier stuff in quotations. Let's go. I dipped it good, baby. I got 3 of the 4 pipes done. This is the 4th. This is my exhaust in. This is my exhaust out. This is my intake in. Or no, this is my intake out. This is my intake in. This is where my carburetor is going to sit. The only problem you have to do, this has to be level. You know, your carburetor can't be level because your gas, fuel, blah blah blah, whatever. It has to be level for your jets and stuff to pick it up. Now I gotta weld it up. Something happened. I gotta have fucking spark issues. What the fuck? That should be dead fucking balls right there, man. How did I lose my fucking spark, man? Fuck. Fuck. Shit's getting old real fucking quick. Kicking shit. Most likely everything you've watched up to this point in the video was footage that was probably 4 to 6 weeks old. I ordered a bunch of parts for this, and because of the COVID, coronavirus stuff, a lot of stuff took a long time to show up.
Meanwhile...
switch, just little shit like that isn't that big of a deal. Normally you get it in 2 days. Well, because of all this, a lot of it took longer. I still couldn't get it started even with the parts finally showed up and I got everything done. I talked to a buddy who builds engines. He said it sounded like I didn't have enough jetting or just not enough carb at all. He came over, took a look at it, realized the jet that I had in it was way too small. It was actually one size smaller than stock. When I bought it, I was told it was one size larger. Well, that was backwards. It was one size smaller. So he came, drilled one out, and basically got it to where everything needs to be. I also had a couple wires backwards. You know what? When it isn't starting, you know, you just start changing everything around. I've changed everything probably 20 different times trying to get it started. So it's good to have a fresh set of eyes on stuff sometimes. He came over, made some adjustments, and we should be good now. Hopefully we'll see, hopefully I can get it started and kind of get it tuned a little bit. It's kind of starting and kind of trying, but I haven't got a full, you know, first startup yet. But hopefully we'll get that done today because I got several hours free and all I'm going to do is mess with it until we get it going. So, let's go. Been sitting for too fucking long. Been waiting on that a long time. God damn, I love it. I was very excited when I finally got to start it. I had all the exhaust work, basically everything done other than like a couple little parts a month in, and then I had to wait, you know, 2 months or however long to finally get the parts, and then finally put them on, and then I was putting them on backwards. And I had a buddy come over and help me, and finally I got it started, so I was very happy. I wasn't 100% sure anything was going to work. I was pretty sure it was, but the longer you go waiting for stuff and the longer you go without it starting, that stuff just kind of starts to creep in your head. You're like, maybe this shit's wrong, maybe it's going to blow up, who knows what's going on. So I'm going to be doing more videos on this car the farther I get going on it. Hopefully I'll be doing my first drive here pretty quick, so keep an eye out for this on this channel. Please subscribe. I got a lot of other cool stuff I'm working on. Other than that, check out some more of my other videos. Thanks. Peace. Peace.